Welcome. We are initiating visit as overview of Vedic mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras. Here, our focus is to remain of the Vedic mathematical domain in reference to the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutra 1. This overview at the outset brings us face to face with the text of Ganita Sutra 1 being the source sutra, and this text is a composition of 9 plus 7, 16 letters, 5 plus 3, 8 syllables, and of TC value 40 plus 35 is equal to 75, and TTCV value of 120 plus 499. It is this range of data which is firstly to be compared in respect of the Devanagari Varanmala in reference to their TCV values. In expression sheet 1 is tabulated this information, firstly with respect to the composition of the text of Ganita Sutra 1, that is Ekadhiken Purve, and the other part is a mention and is a tabulation with respect to Devanagari Varanmala. This formulation Devanagari Varanmala is of TC value 77, while Swaras lead to value 45, Varga consonants to value 125, Anthastha letters to value 16, Ushmana letters to value 20, Yama letters to value 100, and in all, summation value being 283 plus 100. Here in the red remark is mentioned the summation value 206 of TC values of Swaras, Varga, Anthastha and Ushmana letters, that is 42 letters of Devanagari alphabet, which are coordinated in terms of 14 Maheshwara Sutra. This tabulation brings us face to face with the organization of value of letters, syllables, TC values, TTCV values being of 283 plus 236 plus 100, and which gives 519 and 100. And so this will help us have appreciation of the parallel components of the structural organizations. The second sheet is having expression for transcendental mantra Om Namah Shivaya. This mantra as text is leading us to values 16, 32 and 15. Total summation value is 63, TCV value of this entire text of this transcendental mantra. Value 63 as the previous state value leads ahead as 1 more than 63 is equal to 64. This value 64 equal to the summation value of first letters of Ganita Sutras 1 to 16. ECV values of first letters of Ganita Sutra 1 to Ganita Sutra 16 as is tabulated here in sheet 2 comes to be 64. Therefore, while we are visiting, while we are trying to grasp, to imbibe overview of the Vedic mathematical domain in reference to the text of Ganita Sutra 1. Then this second feature, which leads to the organization of first letters of all the 16 sutras, and with it provides us insight as to how this text, Ganita Sutras 16 in number, is leading to a frame, a structural frame, and it is this structural frame which will ultimately become the structural frame of the organization of Vedic mathematical domain in its entirety, in its whole form, in its integrated form. The next feature which we shall grasp is that Vedic systems as Vedas, as knowledge, as a sense domain of knowledge is becoming Vedanta. From Vedanta, we reach at Vedanta Trai. From Vedanta Trai, we reach at Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And transcendental sense of Vedic knowledge, Vedic systems, Vedic mathematics, Vedic sciences, and Vedic technologies comes to be Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita deserves the enlightenment as that the transcendental initiation and transcendental culmination, beginning and end to be at the same mint, is as per the format of Om Iti Ek Akshar Brahm. Om Iti Ek Akshar Brahm is the formatted, manifested state of a sense of Vedic knowledge. And this 5 words text leads us to TC values as 16, 8, 8, 13, and 28 as of summation value 73. Now this value 73 is making a reflection pair with value 37. Value 37 is the TCV value of formulation Shri Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a divine song of Shri Bhagavan, Lord Krishna. Therefore, the format of formulation Shri Bhagavan is the format of Om Iti Ek Akshar Brahm, and the same is sequentially taking us to value 75 parallel with the TC value of formulation Ekadhikeन Purven, the text of Ganita Sutra 1, the source of Sutra. One may have a pause here and take note that the formulation Purven is availing letter Ref in its middle placement. The first placement is of value 1, second placement is of value 2, and third placement is of value 3. Now, when it is of value 1, it becomes the formatted value of the Om Iti Ek Akshar Brahm. When it is of middle value, it becomes of the composed text format of Purven. And when it is of the final Ref as value 3, the same leads to the full expression. And it is this full expression which is of value 75, the TC value 75 of the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shloka, as well as of Ekadhikeन Purve, the first sutra. Therefore, it is this feature which will further provide us appropriate insight regarding the interrelationship of the superstructure of the Vedic mathematical domain in its entirety upon the foundation format of the text of Ganita Sutra. A step ahead, if we are parallel with the shlokas ranges of 18 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and further if we are parallel with the gap values of these 18 ranges of shlokas values, then it will be blissful that the gap values are leading us to the total summation value is 284, which is 1 more than 283, the and totality of the TC values of the totality of the number of letters of the text of Ganita Sutras 1 to 16. Therefore, it is this fourth feature which further help us be parallel with the organization format of Ganita Sutras as a mathematical domain and of the essence of Vedic systems, Vedanta, Vedantatraya, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, being parallel to each other. A step ahead, we shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to be parallel with the transcendental values of the organization of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as a sense of Vedanta Traya. Srimad Bhagavad Gita text, the popular text of 18 adhyayas, 18 yogas of 700 shlokas range, is part of Urma Bharatam, Nisham Parva, and the original text is having a Parinam Shloka which preserves the enlightenment as that knowledge of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is of the range of 745 shlokas. Now, the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in its last shloka, 700th shloka, is that this essence takes us to as Shri, Vijay, Vibhuti, and Dhruvniti. These quadruple formulations are leading us to TC values 20, 16, 29, and 37 as of summation value 102. This value 102, together with the total shlokas participation of Dhritarashtra, Sanjay, and Arjun, the text of 700 shlokas comes to be only 124 shlokas. So value 124 plus value 102 gives us a value 226. The value 519, the total letters of the text of sutras and upsutras, together with this value 226, comes to be 745. The precise preservation of the Gita Paranam Shloka. Therefore, the sadhakas are fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with the Vedic systems and of Vedic mathematics, Vedic sciences, Vedic technologies, availing the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras shall permit the transcending mind to absorb these organizational features. A step ahead, the proper initiation for the overview of Vedic mathematical domain in terms of Ganita Sutra 1 is to be in terms of the first letter of Ganita Sutra 1. The first letter of Ganita Sutra 1 is the sixth vowel. is value 6. Amongst others, one blissful feature of value 6 is as 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 parallel with fourfold manifestation layer 0, 1, 2, 3 of hypercube 2 square, the representative regular body of two space, which as spatial dimension leads us to Vargam, the only geometric formatted formulation in the entire text of Ganita Sutras and Rup Sutras together. It is this feature which deserves to be properly imbibed, as it is only with imbibing of this feature we shall be having a really properly directed initiation for the mind to absorb the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras in its entirety. A step ahead, it will take us to a very, very blissful situation. And the situation is as to how this mathematical domain, this mathematics as it is going to help us have proper comprehension and proper appreciation of the Vedic knowledge. Of these, today, at this stage, I am pointing to two different scriptures which are being similarly formatted. The first scripture is Adi Valmiki Ramayana, and the second scripture is the Chand Vedang, Pingal Chand Vedang. The Pingal Chand Vedang in its chapter 2 is having a structure of 42 chand, and these 42 chand are as 7 columns and 6 rows, in a way from Gayatri to Jagati and from Devi Gayatri to Richam Gayatri. Now, see, the Ganita Sutra 1 is having composition of 9 and 7 letters. So, if we have a sequential reach of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we have a reach from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and 9, means a skipping over 8. This skip over 8 brings us face to face with as that the total geometries of 3 space are 7 in number, and total geometries of 4 space are 9 in number, and there is a jump. It is this jump which will help us further appreciate, and it will bring us face to face with that the text of Ganita Sutras and Sutras is availing the values 1, 0, 1, 2, then 7, then 9 and 10. There is a skip over of value 8 as well as 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, if we have a formulation Shri Ram, it is of TC values 7 and 15. Ganita Sutra 1 is of TC value of letters range 7 and 9. Shri Ram formulation is having TC values 7 and 15. And The Pingal Chand Shastra is organizing Devi Chand and Asuri Chand as of ranges 1 to 7 and 15 to 9. It is here where we will be blissfully parallel with the applied values of pure values of mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras. We shall be coming to these details while in subsequent phases we will be face to face with the same. Here it also will be relevant for us that we shall have visit to the formulations like Shri Ram leading to TC value 22 parallel with Samriti, formulation Ram of TC value 15 parallel to the formulation Karan. Then Ramaha is of TC value 28 parallel with the TC value of formulation Brahm. Sita Ram as well leads us to value TC value 28. Ram and Lakshman together take us to values 15 and 31 respectively. And it is here where the most blissful formulation in operation here is that the transcendental range of linear order is a value 15 and synthesis of a pair of transcendence ranges of linear orders is 31. Like that, we can reach at the formulation Ram Bharat, Bharat and Shatrughan, Lakshman and Shatrughan, Dasharath and Kaushalya, and we'll see that the formulations pair Dasharath and Kaushalya lead to value 42, which is parallel with the TC value Upadan Karan. And Rama is the son, Aurish Putra of Dasharath and Kaushalya. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to be parallel with these organization, format, features, and values of different formulations of Adi Valmiki Ramayana on the one hand, and of Pingal Chand Shastra organization on the other hand. And further, we shall be face to face with the Vedic Sutra 1, and we shall sequentially reach from its first letter to its last letter and be parallel with the preservation here as that these 16 letters of the text of Ganita Sutra 1 are preserving the structural keys for the mathematical domains of Ganita Sutra 1 to Ganita Sutra 6. It is a blissful state, and it is this initiation feature we can be blissfully on the appropriate unfolding format of the mathematical domain. Thank you very much.